All right, it is that time of the week, guys.
That's
We
right.
are reviewing your Dynasty football trades. These are all the trades you made within the last couple of weeks. Now, if you want to get your trades on this weekly show, very, very simple. All you need to do is sign up with our promo code LAND to the Flock Fantasy website. Make sure you choose the Mother Flocker tier, and we'll be looking at your trades on this very show, as well as getting a Dynasty team review, as well as unlocking our rookie scouting and ranking package. So much is available to you guys over on that website. So,
Absolutely.
without further ado, let's get to the first trade today, which is from Seven Goat Rings. He
How
says
you doing?
deadline trades, 10 team full PPR start 11. It's a 1.5 tight end premium, 4 defensive players, best team at 22 and 4. He has Dak, Allen, Gibbs, Bijan, Hall, Achan, Mixon, AJ Brown, Chase Waddle, Nakua. Wow. DJ, Marquise, moving Kelsey sucks, but with the fear he retires and him slowing down, not so sad moving to Jake Ferguson. Jacobs and Barkley are a wash for me. Both had bad offenses with no certainty next year, and getting Debo over Ridley. Okay. All right. So this is the trade that went down. In the first one, he gets Chris Godwin, sends away a second round pick, which I don't mind. I think that's a relatively even trade.
Yeah, I
The
don't mind that
second
either.
one is the one that he's talking about, where he gets Saquon, Debo, and Jake Ferguson, as well as a third, sends away Travis Kelsey, Calvin Ridley, and Josh Jacobs. And yeah, Jacobs and Saquon feels like a wash. I'd rather have Debo over Calvin. And
I
Kelsey
agree.
right now, it's tough to rely on him, man.
It is. I mean, I was just
Feels like
watching.
it's coming to an end.
It is. I mean, it definitely does feel that way. He just hasn't been producing. If you draft him in the first round in your redraft leagues, or maybe even the fourth, fifth round of your dynasty startups, maybe you had one last, beginning of this year. Doesn't feel like it was the best pick to go out and get someone like a Travis Kelsey if you were getting more of a win now build, unfortunately. But yeah, Travis Kelsey looks like he is coming to the end. I like this trade for you, Seven Goats. I like the transition from Drake Ferguson because I don't see this team, you know, getting another tight end. I think Jake
Yeah.
Ferguson's their guy. They like Fergie, and he's going to be, I would say, secure at least going into 2024 if nothing else happens.
Yeah, I agree. I like the pivot from Ridley to Debo as well. So good move. Good move. He
Mm-hmm.
has another one. He says 10 team start 11 full PPR. Top team has a first round buy deadline trade done today. So he gets Debo and Rashad White, sends away Kirk, Garrett Wilson, and a third. Um,
This is interesting.
this is interesting. I do prefer Garrett Wilson here personally in
I do as
Dynasty.
well. I
Obviously,
definitely
if
do as
you're
well.
if you're trying to win right now and you're competing, then Debo Samuel and Rashad White are going to give you a much better chance to do so. But I just don't want to give up on Garrett Wilson before I get to see the Aaron Rodgers era.
I agree. And Christian Kirk obviously was such a good value when you drafted him, specifically in redrafts ahead, like outside of like Calvin Ridley. If you're just comparing him to his teammate Calvin Ridley,
Yeah.
does get injured. It looks like he is still going to be this long term answer for Trevor Lawrence, unless they get someone like a Roma Doomsday, which I doubt is going to fall to wherever the Jags are currently in the NFL draft. If the season ended today, I think he is a pretty safe, mid wide receiver too that can get you consistent points week in and week out. So I'll go here with Garrett Wilson's side.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but I think I'm with you there. I just feel like we're giving up on potentially a top 5 dynasty wide receiver before he gets his quarterback back. Mr. Keys, what's up, my man? He just signed up, by the way, so shout out to him.
Yeah,
Thank
shout
you
out
for
to
the
you, brother.
support.
We
This is the
appreciate
first
you.
time we'll be looking at his trades. 12 team full PPR, half tight and premium, start 11, super flex, rebuilding and needed another first rounder. I made this before these past games. The first will be late for sure, and the third early. All right, so gets
The
a
first
first.
will be late. Okay.
Yeah. Right. The first will be late. The third will be early. So he gets a first, but sends away Noah Brown, James Cook, and a third. I mean, at this point, it feels like James Cook is finally being unleashed. And
Yeah.
knowing there's probably a player in the late first that's worthy of James Cook. like a wide receiver. But I don't know that there's going to be a running back at this point.
Exactly, and that's what I say. My question to you is, what does your running back room look like? Because one of the biggest things we have kind of been having this conversation about, outside of Travion Henderson and Trey Benson, and one of those guys in question apparently to even go into the NFL, if there's only Trey Benson in this NFL draft, there's not much draft capital to invest into some of these running backs that are coming in. There is. Maybe they get into the thing is, a lot of things have to fall right for a lot of these guys to be fantasy relevant. They may produce in real NFL life, but are they going to be fantasy relevant? And James Cook, somebody that I've been loving, somebody I've been saying to buy in Dynasty all of last year, like you said, finally being unleashed in the community. RB11 currently as we record this video, and it's just gonna, in my opinion, going to rise. He is a long. I think they can get a complimentary back, but I think the way they utilized him, he is a pass catching back, and he is somebody that can do it all, in my opinion, which we have seen. So this is what I've kind of been projecting for James Cook.
Yeah. Just looking at the Flock Fantasy community rankings as well. I'll pull that on the screen here. And it looks like James Cook is also the RB11 in the community's eyes in Flock Fantasy. So, or actually, sorry, he's the RB8 in the community's eyes. That's the 11th overall player when you consider the draft capital. But the RB8 right now, I'm not saying that that's right or that's wrong, but just something interesting to look at over there. But yeah, I think I prefer James Cook's side at this point. But
I would agree.
Honestly, before those couple games, though, it looked like he was just a limited back that was efficient, but was never going to be, you know what I mean? Like it really never looked like he was ever going to break out of that. I think we could all be honest in saying that. So I could understand that. But at this point, it looks like he has kind of established himself as the weapon to use there in Buffalo.
Yeah, completely agree. And one last thing to close this one out, it just depends on who's going to be that first. Are you saying that's going to be a Troy Franklin?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's value there.
Does Troy go to the Chiefs, or does Troy go to Buffalo? Where does that caliber of player go? It all depends on that landing spot and who that player is. Because I think we would both say right now, if Troy Franklin or Xavier Worthy were on the Chiefs, we're on Buffalo, we're in Dallas, I think we would want them over somebody like a James Cook, who has short life in a fantasy perspective because of his position. So keep that in mind as well.
Definitely be value. Brock, what's up, my man? 1 quarterback start 8. Added Kamara and Henry as my flex options for a playoff run. So yeah, I mean, look, overall, I don't mind the trade. I will say, I believe Javonte Williams is the most valuable running back here in Dynasty. I don't really understand the notion of like adding a second and a third. I feel like this trade should have been done. Clearly, someone's getting younger at the running back position, and someone is getting, just more guaranteed production. Even though Derrick Henry just kind of shot the bed in the first round of the playoffs, but I just don't think the pick should have been there personally.
Yeah, I would agree as well. The pick is definitely a lot. That 24 second. This is something that we're wanting to hold and keep. With how deep this class is, one of my biggest risers in my rankings is Javonte Williams because of, the thought process I have with him and him being another year removed off of that ACL injury.
Yeah, he'll be much better next year.
I understand that you added Henry and Kamara as win-now assets, but I really hope you won.
Yeah, your first round, because Derrick Henry shot the bed. I hope you get to the next round.
Yeah, I really hope that is paying off for you right now. But look, I understand why you did it. But yeah, still the 24 seconds.
And Derrick Henry could still have good games.
100%.
And you could still win the playoffs and the championship, and it won't matter that you gave up that second if that's the case.
I agree.
Brock says now after that trade, this is his playoff team. It looks like so Stroud, Kyler, Justin Fields. So I bet you he started Justin Fields. Oh no, I bet you he started Bijan. Imagine he started Bijan and Derrick Henry.
Why wouldn't you start Rachaad White and Bijan?
Probably. I just don't know how he would have played it.
I agree. I mean, Rachaad White did have, technically, if I'm not mistaken, a good matchup, though, coming into this past week. against Green Bay. Green Bay are not good against the run.
Yeah.
And that's probably something that we would have said.
Hopefully he made it into the second round. Good team, though. Really good team, Brock.
Yeah,
Sammy
team.
Stacks, 12-team Superflex PPR start 10. Both 25 firsts I acquired are likely mid to late. 24 first was a fringe playoff team that didn't end up making it. All trades came before week 12 deadline. Tried a productive struggle in the startup last summer and have 3 firsts, the 104, 104, 101, 106, and 425 firsts after these trades. So he gets Will Levis in a first, sends away Jordan Love in a second. I like this deal. It's kind of like taking a shot on 2 unproven quarterbacks who are playing well as of recent. I think both of these guys will be the starters next year and could both develop.
I agree.
And you just get a higher pick. The next one is a first for Quentin Johnson in a second, and I would do this. I don't think Johnson's the future.
That's not bad. Yeah, tough.
And then
tough one.
And then the last one is a first and a third for Sam Howell. As much as I love Sam Howell, I have been kind of feeling like when there's a new GM, a new head coach, I feel like they might move on, but we'll see. Maybe they won't. I mean, he's played well, but he did just get benched in a game they were in, which is strange. So
Jacoby was coming back.
He was, but yeah, I'll take the picks there.
I agree. Completely agree with you there.
So I like most of those deals. Crime Lord 10-team Superflex. I have the 101 pretty much locked up. Figured I'd move off of Pollard for what could be the 105 to 110, but more likely 105 to 108. So he gets Rashawn Johnson in a first, sends away Tony Pollard in a second. I love this deal. If you're not competing, absolutely love this deal.
Yeah, completely agree. Tony Pollard, somebody that I'm willing to move on from. I do believe he probably still has a similar role next year with a little bit more competition. But getting that first, no matter where that's from, the 105 to the 110, the talent there is phenomenal. That could be another quarterback, a tight end, another wide receiver. We don't have any first-round running backs right now. They could be in contention to go in the first round in your rookie drafts, of course, not in the NFL draft. And you never know what's going to happen with Rashawn Johnson, right? Like
that's true.
Deontay Foreman can walk. What is Khalil Herbert's contract looking like? I'm pretty sure he got like a 2-year contract extension, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there. There could
anything's possible.
Anything's possible for Rashawn Johnson. So I'm really excited for Big O Ross going into next year if they don't draft another running back. Yeah. Or bring anyone like a Josh Jacobs or a Saquon in. But yeah, I like the 24 first and Rashawn.
All right, well, that is it for today, guys. We appreciate you. Again, if you want your trades on this show, you know how to do so. We are on a holiday right now. We take a 2-week break from Christmas to New Year, so yeah, I'm not even sure when this is going to release, but hopefully you're having a great holiday. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll be back in mid-January, but appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. All love. Now that those idiots are done talking, who needs some rankings?
Hell yeah, I need some rankings.
Then use promo code LAND, L-A-N-D, for 30% off any membership at flockfantasy.com.
Oh.
It's so easy. Even your grandma could scan that QR code right there.